absolute value. In this instance, I refer not to the intrinsic value of gold as a currency, nor to the inherent dignity and self-worth afforded every human being, but rather to the absolute value function, a function in mathematics. This absolute value function is denoted by vertical bars as such. Let's suppose that we are to graph f of x equals the absolute value of x, g of x equals the absolute value of 2 times x, and h of x equals negative of the absolute value of 2 times x. I think we already know what to do. Let's make a t-chart. All right. We'll have x, we'll have f of x, we'll have g of x, and we'll have h of x. And I'm going to make it a little easy on us. I'll just go from -2 to 2. All right. The absolute value of x is the positive part of x. So if there's a negative sign, we drop it. If there isn't a negative sign, we don't do anything. Okay, so the absolute value of -2, positive 2. Absolute value of -1, positive 1. Absolute value of 0, just 0. And the absolute value of any positive number is just itself. Okay. That takes care of f of x. Now g of x. So we want to multiply x by 2 and then take the absolute value. So -2 times 2 is -4. Take the absolute value, positive 4. -1 times 2 is -2. Take the absolute value, positive 2. 0 times 2 is just 0. The absolute value is 0. 1 times 2 is just 2. The absolute value is 2. And the absolute value of 2 times 2 is 4. That takes care of g of x. H of x, well, given g of x, h of x is just the negative of that. So let's just flip signs everywhere. Okay, so h of x is just the negative of this column here. All right, as to the graph. Well, absolute value of x, so 1 point on it is -2, 2, left 2, up 2. Another point is -1, 1, left 1, up 1. 0, 0, that's our favorite, that's the origin. 1, 1, right 1, up 1. And 2, 2. Okay, so we see that this function is linear in the first quadrant and linear in the second, but in different directions. So when we connect the dots, get a line here and a line there. And that's our absolute value function. V for victory. All right, on to g of x. Okay, so first point, -2, 4, left 2, up 4 this time. Second point, -1, comma 2, left 1, up 2. Then we have the origin at 0, 0. we have the point 1, comma 2, so right 1, up 2. And then we have positive 2, comma 4. So right 2 and up 4. Connect the dots now. And this is our g of x. All right. So as you can see, this graph is the same as the graph of f of x, except it's compressed along the x-axis. It's squeezed in from both sides. In other words, any point that would be here on the original curve, it moves in. Any point that would be distance 2 from the y-axis on the original curve, it moves in by a factor of 2, so it's only distance 1. Okay, so this is squeezed together by a factor of 2. Similarly, this point here, which would be, let's say this point, this would be 4 units away from the y-axis. It's squeezed in, so it's only 2 units away from the y-axis. And the origin, which is on the y-axis, stays in the same place. So this is a vertical compression along the this is a horizontal compression along the x-axis by a factor of 2. So let's write this here. Horizontal compression by factor of 2. Everything's squeezed together to be twice as close to the y-axis as it was before. Okay, finally, on to h of x. So h of x, well, the y-coordinates are just the negatives the corresponding y-coordinates for g of x. If you guess that that's a reflection over the x-axis, you guessed correctly. We've seen this idea before. But just to verify this, let's plot points one at a time. So the first point, negative 2, comma negative 4. Left 2, down 4. Then here. Then negative 1, comma negative 2. Left 1, down 2. Then 0, comma 0. That's the origin. Then 1, comma negative 2. Right 1, down 2. And finally 2, comma negative 4. So this curve right here is our h of x. Whoops. As you can see, h of x is a horizontal compression by a factor of 2, and then the negative flips everything over the x-axis. So to go from the original parent function, the blue curve, to this pink curve at the end, you squeeze things together, and then you flip over the x-axis. Thanks for watching.